What is up, everybody? We have a good show for you today. We're going to hit up some news. We have big games, movies, and shows coming out this month. We're going to talk about. We got some trailers coming out: Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft, and Venom: The Last Dance. We're talking a little bit about that. And reviews, we're going to be talking briefly about Dark Matter and Big Door Prize, Hack Season 3, and Tires on Netflix. Stay tuned.
The Joystick Show. The Joystick Show.
How's it, Sticklers? The Joystick Show is back for our weekly pod where we talk story about the things we've read, watched, or played. You know, the things that bring us joy. Shockers and Mahalas for sticking around. If can, please like and subscribe on every and any podcast platform, especially on YouTube. I'm your co-host Drake, and that's Thomas.
What up, what up?
And that's Scott.
How's it?
And welcome to episode 140 Ocho of the Joystick Show. We've got tons of things to talk about. We've got at least 4 to 5 topics in news, at least 2 to 3 topics in trailers, and at least 3 things to talk about in reviews. The reason why I'm not naming them is because we're going to talk about them, so just wait, all right?
Yeah. Let's just jump into the news because I'll address the first thing, which is Arcane Season 2. Did you guys
Ooh.
watch Arcane Season 1?
Hell yeah.
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure I did, right?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
think so.
I definitely did.
Did I?
No, I didn't
I want to say
finish it.
yes.
Okay. Well, that's
All right.
good because we're getting more of it and it's
Oh,
coming
okay,
this
cool.
November.
Nice. Is
I love that show.
November, what did you love about it?
All of it. Big fan of the art. I like the universe they built.
Yeah.
I like the powers and stuff going on and the things that they're hinting at in the future. I like the relationship between the two main characters, the sisters. So much. I loved it.
Okay, what did you hate about it?
That Thomas didn't like it. So
That's
Perfect.
fair. I hate that I
Perfect.
didn't. This is the thing. Like, I've tried so many times to watch this show. It sounds maybe crazy. I probably to a lot of people, but I fall asleep every time. Around that like second or third episode. Oh, actually, you know where they go with the time jump?
Mhm.
Right after they do the time jump and like Jinx gets older, I fall asleep every time. I know maybe if I knew the world better, like maybe if I knew League of Legends, I'd be more into it. But I don't know what's wrong with me. Like if you know what, in fact, I'm gonna
That's
start
fine.
putting it on at night so that I
Yeah.
can fall asleep.
Okay.
You'll watch it.
That's
It'll
funny.
go into your
'Cause I've
brain
been
while you
having
sleep. You'll dream
trouble
about it.
sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Isn't Ella Jinx our Fallout
I
main
think so.
caricature?
Yeah, I think
Nice.
she is.
And I believe
also,
Haley
like,
Steinfeld is in here as well too, huh?
Yeah, and she was the girl before Jinx who has like the pink hair, I guess, right?
I want to say her name was V.
Yeah.
That sounds like Cyberpunk.
Oh,
But,
dang.
No, I think her
but
name was
you
V,
could
though.
be right. I have
Huh,
no idea.
interesting.
Yeah, no, it is. So, anyways, yeah, it looks awesome. I thought the animation was super, super good in it. It's really sick to have it back. I will watch it before it comes back. That almost sounds like it'd be a good challenge for me, so that I
Ooh.
could finish it.
Will you
but
accept said challenge?
I probably will, regardless, because I want to watch this before November.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it looks fantastic. Scott, how closely does this stick to the games?
Well, okay, so that's the thing. I'm not super familiar with the game, so I was asking our good friend of ours, John,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, based on him, so if I'm wrong, sorry.
Blame
Kill
John.
him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blame John. Get him. No, but he says this this game didn't have too much lore other than like the short little movies they made cinematics for the game. So
Okay.
this was like their first shot at like trying to build out lore to the game. And I thought they did what
Ah.
seems like did a pretty good job. There's certain things like you kind of like when you watch Marvel movies and you're not unfamiliar with certain characters, they put a little more emphasis on a person. You're like, I think this guy's from the game. Like,
You're
you know,
right. He must be an important character from the comics. Like his
Yeah, or something,
backstory.
yeah.
Right.
but I didn't know too much about it. And for whatever reason, I just ended up really digging it. So
Yeah, a lot of people did too. It's really highly rated everywhere, and everybody always talks about how good it is. Like it's put in those categories of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I'm trying to think of what other big animation was out there.
Um,
Uh,
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, TMNT was
Yeah.
up there
Yeah,
too. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I would say you're right. I think it is in that category. So yeah, I'm stoked about it. Hopefully they get back the voice acting cast that's still like alive, I guess, from season one. But I thought that was phenomenal. And you're right. I did like the art style. It just like I don't know. I couldn't fully dive into the world, but I know if I stick with it, I'm gonna dig it.
Yeah, I also
Okay.
like the soundtrack.
Oh,
Soundtrack.
Yeah,
You were a fan
soundtrack.
of Imagine Dragon?
that's
You,
Oh yes.
my girlfriend was trying to make me go see Imagine Dragon. Well, like, well, if she invites her friend, you don't have to see Imagine Dragon. But I like Imagine Dragon. Nobody
wow.
remembers that?
Can
Hawkeye?
you imagine that or what? Dragons, like, come on.
Dragons, dude.
What are we
Yeah.
doing, dude?
So, Furiosa came out like 2 weekends ago now.
Yeah.
It had a pretty great opening weekend. The reviews have
Hmm.
been mostly successful, but
Mm.
this and I will say it's not uncommon for there to be a big drop off for action movies in the second week, but this one is abysmal, maybe not even making its money back.
Brutal.
We have Furiosa dropping off 63.4% at the box office,
Wow.
and it may not make its money back for a movie that was really highly rated and really well received. Have you guys seen it? And then let's dive into like maybe why.
I have not seen it.
I have not seen it.
I'm still
Damn.
intrigued though.
Okay.
I've lost interest.
Oh,
You've lost
yeah, me
interest?
too.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm just
why? Why? Okay. Why haven't you seen it? Is it just
Okay.
time?
It was a timing thing. Like, I wanted to go see it with Christine.
Mhm.
Their schedules didn't line up,
Right.
and
She's
Yeah.
out of
then
the country.
some
right?
other friends went.
Yeah.
But then I had like work early the next day. It's just things just weren't lining up.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. You're an adult. I get it. What about
Yeah,
you?
you know
What
how
about
it
you,
is.
Drake?
You saw it, and so it feels like I saw it because you saw
Wow.
it.
My
And
review
that's
was
why
So
that
Rick
good? Man,
saves
if you're
money.
yeah,
not following us on social media, you're blowing it
yeah,
because apparently my reviews are that good. You
yeah,
could skip a whole 2 hour movie for a 1 minute clip. That's
yeah,
pretty
dude.
good.
Dude.
I was like, I already saw the movie. You told me key important factors that would make me be okay with just waiting for it.
Okay.
One is, for the fact that you've already seen it, that's kind of like a prequel, and
Were you
then
gonna say boobs? I felt like you were gonna
I
say
was gonna
boobs.
say
I feel like it was
boobs, but
leading to
I was
that.
gonna try to, reel it back, keep it a little bit more PG-13.
Okay.
But boobs, yes. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah. There are not any from what I could tell, and I don't think the movie is any worse for not having any. I think the ones that they have are great, but it's
sick.
yeah. It, I didn't love it. Like I feel like the internet is in love with it. But I also feel like so many people are on the side of you should go see this because it is that good. But I also feel
Mm,
like there is a fear of what's going on in Hollywood right now. And I think it's not just for me, like I'm a big advocate of going to see things in the theaters. Like I love a
yes.
space where people have to focus, where they have to put down their phones, where have to
Hmm.
be immersed in an experience. Like I love that aspect of going to the movies. But I didn't necessarily think it was as incredible as I wanted to
Mm,
be coming off of watching Fury Road, where Fury Road is like bam, 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 action, explosions, crazy thing. It is
Yeah.
not that, and yet there are still so many great things about this movie. The characters, I think, are fantastic. Chris Hemsworth is putting on a show. Um, why do you guys think that maybe this movie isn't being received so well? Is it I heard people say the economy. I've heard people say, we didn't care about having a side story in a Mad Max. Uh, I don't know. What do you guys
wow.
think?
I mean, I think in terms of like a reflection on, I guess, societal things, you could make that argument. I also think like it's very out of the way. I think Tom Hardy in his prime was doing those Mad Maxes, and it was rekindling that IP. I think this is too far in between those and also the originals. I also think that there's other IPs that are a lot more interesting and a lot more played
Yeah,
out. Like you're gonna play in a desert world when we just had Dune 2.
for
Like
sure. Oh, okay, so but Tom Hardy, he was only in one movie, and then that movie crushed. Like,
well, I think it's also because Furiosa was a great character in the show, and I think maybe focusing a little bit more on her character makes sense, but maybe not to the extent. Was, in your opinion, was the story enough for it to be like a cult classic later on in life? And was the story badass enough to where you're like, oh wow, Furiosa, i.e. Charlize Theron, is so badass that I want to see more of her? And if those are yes, then maybe. But if they're no, then I think it's just a partial marketing and lack of demand.
I feel like this movie is going to crush when it hits streaming. I
Oh, interesting.
100% think people are
Mm.
going to freak out and love it as soon as it hits streaming. I don't know if it was the length or the timing or whatnot, but it is weird. Like I think Anya Taylor Joy and Chris Hemsworth, like they're at the top of their games right now. Like everything
Mhm.
they put out makes a $500 million, I would say. So it is
Ooh.
surprising that people aren't showing up for those two superstars. What about you, Scott?
Mm.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned like just the economy right now. I'm interested to see what other movies that were projected to be good coming out right now are making as well, like Planet of the Apes. Like
Yeah.
usually this is like a really competitive time, right? Like every weekend you got a movie. It
Mm-hmm.
is expensive going. Sometimes there's just so much it can just be like, I don't think I'm gonna see any of these. Or like I
Mm.
Right,
can't,
right. You get
you know.
overwhelmed. Too much
Yeah, you're like,
choice.
I'm not gonna I'll just wait. And and then we do
We
get
know how you
we
make
get movies
decisions
so
now.
quick now
Yep.
on
No.
digital.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Um
That's true.
and that definitely plays a role. Like
Mm.
not I'm sure that, we love going to the movies, but and even I have a hard time getting there. But
Mm-hmm.
there are definitely people who are like, I don't need to see something on a big screen. Like if I could just be comfortable, that wins over seeing it early.
Mm.
Yeah, or leaving the house, or
Or
yeah,
leaving, yeah, or
having
leaving
to
the
put
house.
on
And then
pants.
depending where you live, um, it might not be the best like area to watch movies. Like maybe you got like
It's
assholes
true.
movies and stuff. So that's probably on the real low end of people not watching
Yeah, yeah.
movies. So I'm
And
just
maybe
making
it's
excuses.
dangerous as
Maybe
fuck
you don't
for where
have a
you go to the
license.
movies.
You
Like,
can't
oh
drive.
Yeah,
wow,
dude.
didn't think about
Lost your
that
bus
one.
pass. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I
But
don't
it'd
know.
be
I
expensive.
I know that it is something I see a lot of other movie reviewers and content creators are talking about. It's like, dang, like I don't know what it is. Is it like a perfect storm? Because Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is doing pretty good, but it's not
Hmm.
doing what it probably should have done for how much it
Mm.
costs to make that movie and for this time of year. Like normally Memorial Day weekend? What holiday was it?
That was
It
last
was. It
weekend,
was.
Memorial
It was
Day.
It
Memorial
was
Day
okay.
weekend.
Yep.
Right, right. Damn. Shows these holidays, man. I can't keep track. They just fly
Yeah.
on by.
No, I mean, because the like I know you mentioned marketing, but like I feel like I was seeing it everywhere. Like
Right.
I don't have a lot of like I don't have cable and stuff, but I got like YouTube and all these other stuff. Like so,
Mm-hmm.
they figure out a way to wiggle their way in to make you see these trailers, and
Mm.
For sure.
they looked so good. Like I saw Planet Apes, I'm definitely seeing that, and then I look at my schedule, I'm like, "Ah, I don't think I can do it. Like it always comes down to that.
Okay.
Um, but I'd like to see a comparison to like maybe even like 10 years ago movies to that maybe that caliber, how much were they raking in versus like now, like because
Oh,
things are just so expensive now.
this was like the one of the worst Memorial Day weekends in terms of box office in like 10 years.
See,
Yeah. So that's why it's weird, like this movie should have been pretty successful. All the movies at the box office right now are not doing really great across the board, and yeah, I think it's interesting. I think this definitely will be an interesting time, in movies in general and how you're going to bring people to the box office. So I saw a really
Mhm.
compelling video, and we'll probably have to link to it or I'll have to find it somewhere. But it was somebody saying like the biggest competition right now for the movies isn't streaming, it's our phones. Like people would rather be entertained by TikTok or Instagram or YouTube rather than like watching something for 2 hours, even an hour
Yeah,
and a
that's
half.
fair.
Yeah.
But then again, you look at like some of the most successful movies last year. Oppenheimer, Dune 2 was a 2.5 hour movie, and like that did really well as well. So it's like I don't know. And it's weird because this very much I think could be put into that category of a Dune 2 like movie.
Hmm.
Yeah, but Dune has a huge cult following. Like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
people love the books, right? So you got that going for it. And then
Right.
Oppenheimer, you have as soon as you hear who's directing it, you're like, okay,
Got to.
I'm
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
interested. And then you see the trailer, like, fuck yeah, dude, the cast is insane. So like sometimes, like I don't know, like the Furiosa, like other than the trailer looking cool, and like the two leads that are like, yeah, I like them. Um, it's
Okay.
not like it's what is it? It'd be interesting to see how well what's his face um
Which face?
Ryan Reynolds.
Tarantino. He's got one
Quentin?
movie left.
Oh,
Oh
Right.
yeah.
right.
It'd
Yeah.
be interesting to see how much money that makes. You know,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I mean, if
Because
that comes out like this year, or it probably won't. But you know what I mean, like
yeah, I think they're
because
still
that
in.
should be a movie that should make a shit ton of money because it's like his last film and whatnot. But if that doesn't, then something's going on.
Something's wrong. Yeah,
Something's
yeah,
really
that's
wrong.
true. Yeah. Do you guys think Deadpool and Wolverine over $1 billion
I don't know.
Over a billion?
or a
What do you
billion?
mean?
Yeah, a
All
$1 billion
time?
movie. Yeah, or yeah.
Like money?
Over the course of
I mean,
the
box offices are
years?
limited, so while it's at the box office,
Yeah.
it will make $1 billion.
I don't think it's gonna make a billion.
I don't
No.
know if
No.
it's gonna make a billion.
No. I think
Though I
it's
don't know
gonna
too much about how much movies make to
To
like
Yeah.
to put it in
compare it to.
perspective, first Captain Marvel made $1 billion, over $1 billion. The first Venom movie made $1 billion.
like worldwide?
Yeah,
I think that's because it did well in like
Other
outside of
markets?
the U.S.
that's
Like,
true, but
people
only
really
about
loved it.
300 million. That means still like 70% of it is still here.
A
So
billion? I don't
I,
think
I'm
it's gonna
I'm
be
in the camp. I don't know if it's gonna make $1 billion, but I could see it making 850 million.
I think so too. Wolverine. I mean, everyone loves Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool at this point. They know
Yeah.
what's going on. But like for Wolverine coming back, Wolverine's just a character everyone loves in general. I
Yep.
think that Venom, in if you're gonna compare the two, similar. Like you go back to reading Spider-Man. Like people love Spider-Man, but they love Venom. Like he's like their favorite like villain, right? He's like the Joker to Batman.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, and then to see, they did a good job making Venom look the way he did.
Yeah.
You can say whether or not you like the movies or whatnot, but when you see Venom tearing shit up, you're like, this is what I thought Venom would look like. And if that little kid in you, especially, I think we're at that right age now, like we're all those kids who grew up and now have jobs and money, and we can like go enjoy the shit we'd want to as kids. So it's like the perfect nostalgia
Yeah. Unless you're too
generation.
busy, like
So
you
this
are.
is like if Venom came out 10 years from now, who knows if it'd do as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I okay, so I take it back. I think it'll gross at minimum $1 billion.
at minimum,
At minimum.
At
Yeah.
max 5 billion. Mark his words.
Max $20 trillion.
It's gonna make Morbius money, okay? It's
Okay,
gonna
so
be yeah.
so
$9
okay, so the
quadrillion.
reason why I say that is because Ryan
Okay.
Reynolds, obviously,
Yep.
Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman's gonna get all the Australian and the New Zealand situation
And
because that's where he's
Americans.
from. And then Ryan Reynolds is gonna get all of the American, Canadian, and also too, he's probably gonna get the UK market because remember he owns Wrexham FC. And he's probably gonna promote it there as well too. So you're gonna get a lot of the UK market, which is Premier League type situation. So you might get even more people who are watching in who are seeing those in that European market. So
Okay.
I'm gonna say at minimum $1 billion. I didn't think about the other things. So
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they're bigger than them. Like, oh,
Jesus.
you're the most famous Australian guy I know. Like, like they're like just worldwide known
That's
at this
true.
point. I don't think it really
Yeah.
matters on like
Yeah.
that.
Hugh
But
Jackman probably is more famous than Chris Hemsworth, who is
yeah, Hugh Jackman's a fucking legend already.
Yeah.
that's true. It's true.
Yeah,
And it's the only Marvel movie this year.
okay,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that should help. And Ryan Reynolds is a freaking marketing genius. Like
Mm-hmm.
the fact that when I first heard about Mint Mobile, I was like, "What is this? He's doing this," and then it's like
Then
I'm
he
still
just
here
sold
about
it. Then
Like
they just sold it for a couple
Yeah.
billion too.
Yeah.
it's
Just
crazy. Like
Yeah. I
fucking
love all the
crazy.
marketing they're doing for it. It would be crazy if that movie doesn't hit $1 billion. I think that's where Hollywood should start wearing like shit. People aren't going to movie theaters anymore. What do we need to do?
it'd be interesting if what they start doing is like, okay, super big budget movies aren't selling as well.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to dial it back, start making movies like lower budget. It starts going more towards those like independent or maybe like just the kind of
Yeah.
movies that were trying to compete with Marvel, peak Marvel, and they start kind of reverting back to like I don't want to say normal movies, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
But
like
it
things that
allows
we
the
can make our
door.
money back.
Yeah, it allows the door, I think, to open up for like your everything everywhere all at once kind of movies, like really
For sure,
creative
yeah.
directors and
Yep.
stories and like really creative storytelling, which
Yeah.
arguably is still one of the best multiverse stories ever. And we've been in the multiverse saga for like 3, 4 years now.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that's going to be the telltale sign if, if the movies are screwed. So it's just interesting to think about. I think we could look back on this moment and be like, wow, this might have been the beginning of the end for, the movie market as we know it. So anyways, just want to throw that out there. I thought that was kind of an interesting thing to think about. Coming up this week, though, we have some movies that we're going to be talking about. We have some big video game announcements, comics, all the above. Thanks to Geek Freaks Podcast and IGN. I'm going to be going to IGN Live in LA this week, starting on Thursday.
Damn.
Thanks. Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. So you should all start seeing that. Actually, the day this episode drops, you'll probably start seeing it pop up on all the different socials. So follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the above. We're going to have like videos and different things coming out. Threads
For
too.
sure.
Threads is really crushing it for us too. If you want to hear our thoughts right as the new Venom trailer drops, or whatever on Blue Lock, on what else? I don't know. Any new
Acolyte.
thing. The Acolyte, yes, thank you. When that comes out this week, yeah, we'll have all of our thoughts posted there. So definitely follow us on Threads. It's been a good time, but yeah, IGN Live. We'll see what we get into. I'm pretty curious. It's
Hell
like
yeah.
I think one of the first time they're doing this event actually live and in person. So we'll see, man.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yep. Pull that thread, and you'll see what's to
definitely.
come.
I want you to pull some threads.
Yeah, I've been pulling some threads on a lot of my clothes, and then I actually have to sew a lot of them up because,
Do you do the lighter trick to like kind of stop
oh
them from
yeah,
pulling?
Or
all
do
the
you just
time, all the
pull
time.
as hard and fast as you can and hope it doesn't just pour
Just
more
keep
thread?
going.
I do both things. I do both things.
Oh, god dang it.
Yeah, you're like, fuck.
You hope it just
Oh,
breaks. Yes.
bottom of your shirt unravels. You're out.
You're
way
like,
to
son of a
carry.
bitch. Son of a bitch.
Okay, so we have it's a really big month. We're kicking off the summer season. We have new game announcements, we've got new movie announcement and new show announcements. So let's get into some games first of all, and then you guys can tell me if you're excited to play any of these. If not, we'll quickly move on. But some of the games starting on the 4th, which I believe is tomorrow at the time of this recording, we have Destiny 2, The Final Shape. We have Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Also, Star Wars Hunters. I don't know a lot about this game. This is also
Neither.
dropping. Assassin's Creed Mirage. I'm looking forward to this. I do actually want to check this out. I know it's kind of like a bunch of different games, I think, from Assassin's Creed put together. What else do we have? Monster Hunter Stories. An Elden Ring expansion, I want to say, Shadow of the Erd Tree on the 21st. Super Monkey Ball. Shout out to our OG fan, Super Monkey
Oh,
Ball.
dang.
We've got Banana Rumble on the 25th. And we've got
Banana Rumble.
Yep. And then we got Luigi's Mansion 2 on the 27th. Any of those games popping out to you guys?
Gonna go ahead and just say no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I'm looking at that Star Wars Hunters game, and it looks very Fortnite-y, and I'm not saying Fortnite doesn't have value in place, but it's geared towards a certain dynamic.
Right.
I would say Assassin's Creed is probably going to be interesting, but we're getting a lot of Assassin's Creed content from Ubisoft already, so
Mhm.
it's just going to build up expectation. And then the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes,
Killer Clowns from Outer
Killer
Space.
Killer
Clowns,
Clowns, yeah.
that could be interesting only in the fact that it's so novel. At the
Mhm.
same point in time, there are definitely other things that are coming down the pipe that I'm more excited for, i.e. GTA 7, um,
5.
5,
5?
16,
6?
16, 14.
Why don't we know this?
Yeah.
It's
We have a
And
video
then
about it. So.
some of the other games that we talked
6.
about previously, Saber Interactive and all these other things coming out. So, especially games that we can play together. So, I mean, it's cool. Thanks for making things work and pushing the boundaries, but not part of me. Not part of me.
Yeah. I'll check out Hunters. It sounds kind of interesting. I think the game I'm most looking forward to is what is it? Marvel Rivals. I think
Oh
that's
yeah.
the
That
one.
looks interesting. It's like
Yes, that's a
Overwatch.
game.
Yeah,
but
like Overwatch, but 6-on-6. And some people have already started getting like the beta game.
Yeah.
and it looks sick. The way they use the powers, the way you're able to move around. The Punisher looks super unique. He has like a grappling hook. You can change from Bruce Banner into the Hulk. Spider-Man, they seems like they've done like the powers really cool with them. So yeah,
Yeah.
Namor can call up like a companion that's basically a turret, but like a octopus that will like shoot things as like a way to like kind of
That's cool.
increase damage or like shoot damage. But if you're with another character, I think one of the Inhumans, that same octopus will shoot ice and then freeze
Yeah,
your
I was-
enemy.
I was just gonna say they have like team attacks, which is pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
which is
Same.
I'm a fan of them synergy attacks.
Yeah,
So-
synergy, that's what they call them. Yeah.
Oh boy, I love it
Um,
already.
Yeah,
Talk
that's cool.
about
That does
it.
look good. I think other than that, there's another game coming out this year. It's the Astrobot. It's like that,
Oh
that
yeah,
little
Astrobot too.
yeah. I feel like the first one we got was more of a demo of like this is how the PS5 works.
Right.
This looks like a full-on Mario game,
Mm-hmm.
like but PlayStation. It looks pretty interesting. Based on that trailer, it looks like they have a lot of cool ideas going on with it. Looks like a fun platformer for like a modern time. So
Totally.
that looked like it stood out for me. The other ones, they sound cool, but not really games I've been playing lately, at least for a while. Like
Yeah,
Assassin's
yeah.
Creed or Monster Hunter. Like I'll casually play those. I know like if you're hardcore, that Elden Ring, like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that's all you. But I'm not. None of those were like super in my wheelhouse.
Yeah. Do you guys know who Kai Cenat is?
Sounds familiar.
He's like
He's
that
a,
black
influencer?
streamer, and he just had
Yep.
Kevin Hart, and he has like people
Yep,
basically
yep.
in his like downstairs game room or whatever. He had just had Kevin Hart in there. He had like a bunch of other people.
Oh,
So-
I did see a clip of that.
Yeah, he played Elden Ring for 156 hours, and the amount of him just being like, "Fuck, fuck," and just like dying over and over again. I was like, man, I'm so happy. I know a lot of people out there would be like, "What? You didn't play Elden Ring?" But like that looks like it would piss me off.
Dude,
That looks like
me too,
sitting in
actually.
traffic for a week. Like hell no, I don't want to do that.
I know I caught a glimpse of like one of the dungeons that I guess everyone has to do, and then everyone in the comments, oh my god, I hated this dungeon, I hated that, and I'm watching this guy play it, and I'm like, I would flip out at this thing, like because
Right.
there's a lot of like, one of the things is like you have to time these fucking death wheels that are coming, and like
Right.
one of them was like, okay, you think you're safe, so you hide in a pocket, and then right when you hide in there, if you didn't know, there's a guy going, yeah, and like that's where you would have died the first time. There's a lot of traps where like you would have died the first time, then you gotta make your way back there again and get past that guy, and then get,
Oh
I'm
my
like, that's
god.
just fucked up. That would have just infuriated me
Yeah.
for hours. So I'm like, there's people who love those kind of games. I just don't got time for that anymore. So
Right. Right. Like give me something that's fun that I can actually win.
yeah,
and
for
I
that
can feel-
small bit at the end where I'm like, yeah, I did it. Like it's not worth the hours of me being angry about it. Like,
Yeah, but Power Wash Simulator, I know that. I know you're
bro,
into that.
that is a good time. Pick it up,
Okay.
guys.
Hey, they will be at IGN Live too, so I'm gonna try
Yeah,
to
dude.
find
Nice.
something there for you.
Just
All
be
right,
a real
let's-
power washer and power wash the TV while it's power washing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get Scott
What
that
the
for
fuck are you
Christmas.
doing?
Be like, here you go, man. Go to town, buddy.
Oh,
Happy
dude.
birthday.
Maybe
All
I'll
right,
take
so
you
let's
through.
move on to movies because we got
Okay.
some sick movies dropping. I tried to get into the show, couldn't do it, but we got Bakihama versus Kangen Ashura. It's anime that's on Netflix. Yeah, if you don't know what it is. It didn't
cool.
hook me. We got
Okay.
Inside Out 2 on the 14th. We got
Nice.
Bad Boys Ride or Die on the 7th. Oh, I see how they're listing this. Okay. Hitman also with Glenn Powell and Adriana Arona. Arona?
That
Kendrick,
looked
do you see that?
interesting.
Say her name better?
La Rona.
No, it's just there's no la. It's
Oh.
just
Arona.
That's pretty good.
Arona.
Yeah. That comes out on the
Arona.
7th on Netflix. We got The Watchers coming out on the 7th as
That looks
well.
interesting.
I've already said Inside Out 2. We got The Exorcism
Oops, sorry.
on the 21st. I probably won't see that. I'm a
No.
wuss. And then A Quiet Place Day 1 on the 28th. I do want to see that.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
And then the last one is Horizon, an American Saga, Chapter 1. It is
Yeah, dude. Kevin Costner, let's go.
Kevin Costner. Yeah. It is his self-financed movie, and he's dropping it in 2 parts. So this one is dropping obviously on the 20th, like I said, and then I think 3-4 months later is part 2.
I didn't know
Yeah,
about
what
this
do you guys
one.
think? Any of these movies stand out to you?
Obviously, the last one, because if you like Yellowstone, you like Kevin Costner, you're gonna like what he's about to give you there.
He's got a big old mustache too.
He's got a big old mustache. He's gonna be playing
big
the
ol' hat.
westerns. You know, Drake loves him a western. But that's why that's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep.
What about you, Scott?
Yeah. I mean, I just found out about this movie, movie,
Any other movie on the list? You don't.
and I'm in. Okay,
Okay.
so we'll start there.
There you
Inside
go.
Out 2.
Soaked. Yeah,
I like the
that was
first
fun.
one. Pixar.
Totally.
There's certain Pixar movies that are coming out lately. I'm like, I don't know about this one, but
Sure,
you know,
yeah.
Inside Out I like. So hopefully
Yep,
they're going
yep,
back to
could
like
be.
solid, interesting, or original ideas.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, original
Quiet
idea
Place.
of part 2. It's funny.
The human mind is so complicated. There's so much more you can dive into, Thomas. I don't
That's
know if you
true.
know this.
Well said.
Yeah, but it is a part 2 of a movie we've seen. What was I gonna say?
Yeah,
Quiet
again,
Place.
Quiet Place.
Yeah, I love that
Yeah.
universe they built. I'm excited for that. Hopefully, I see it in theaters. You know how that goes. And the other one, The Watcher, seems interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna see that in theaters. I kind of want to
Mhm.
see.
It in the comfort of your own home.
I mean, maybe, but I kind of want to know more about it. Like, it's one of those I want to know just a little bit more about it.
Mm-hmm. So it can hook you.
Because right now it looks super intriguing, but it could also super let me down.
But it has
You know what I
what's
mean?
her face in it though.
Dakota Fanning. And she's
Yeah,
great.
she's always
Yeah.
good. She's good in all the
She
things
is
she
always
does.
good.
She
Yeah.
is good.
She's really good.
Except for when she tries to do like odd British accents. Have you ever watched The Mentalist? Her accent
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what is this accent?
But
I
if you
don't
like
know
just if
I
you just
British.
don't listen to her, her acting's really good though. So
No, her acting is phenomenal for sure.
Yeah, she physically acts the shit out of things, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like there was one more movie. In that movie
Yeah.
that
There's
seemed-
Bad Boys, and then we said A Quiet
Um,
Place. Yeah, it was, or Hitman. Hitman with Glenn Powell.
Hitman looks
oh,
interesting.
oh yeah,
That
yeah,
looks
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, I went into the synopsis and he's like, he's a fake hitman or something.
Right.
And I'm like, that sounds funny. Because and then I see all his characters. I'm like, that looks like a good time.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not too super pumped about Bad Boys. I just wasn't really a
Yeah.
You're not a
Boys
Bad
for
Boys
Life
for
kinda guy.
life.
I mean, it might
I
be good. I just
the-
didn't grow up watching them, so
Yeah. We talked about it last week. I love Bad Boys.
Yeah,
I love Will Smith, OG Will Smith. It's
yeah.
just I mean it's obviously it's tough because it's on the back end of all the scandal.
I know.
I
I was
truly
time
don't
was
think
some-
the slap's gonna affect anything. Like,
I
yeah,
I
if
hope
a
Chris
Trump
Rock's in this
conviction
film.
doesn't stop people from voting for him, the slap ain't gonna stop people from going to see Will Smith.
It's not about whether or not people will go see it, but it's just like the belief in kind of like for me personally, like Will Smith, like I like looked up to him a lot, and not to say that the slap I look now less of him, but I probably will watch Bad Boys in general, but it's just not a good look. It's like what Ezra did to himself, with the Flash mantle, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's just my opinion how I feel about it, just because I felt ways about it before in terms of
Yeah,
how I
it's like
felt
when
about
you
Will.
hear like an actor you like is like a dick in real life. You're like, oh, he's a
Right.
real piece of shit. But we got to
Mhm.
see that. You know, we
Mm.
all got to see it. Will Smith
Right.
just slapped the shit out of this dude
Mm-hmm.
on live television, and then accept an award, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then people stood up and clapped for him, and he's like, thanks, man. He's crying about it. And you're like, you didn't you
Yeah.
just slap some fucking dude?
Like right in the
Yeah.
fucking
Like-
face there.
Like
Yeah,
you guys
it
all
was all kinds of
crazy.
bad.
Like you know, so
Yeah.
there's a little bit of that going on when I see him sometimes.
Yep.
But,
yep.
You
you
know
know,
what's
what-
funny?
What was that?
I would say so after the slap, I went back and watched King Richard, which he won the Academy Award for, and that movie is phenomenal.
Is slap?
He's so good. Ha! I love it. Oh, fucking nice.
Wow,
movie did
that's
slap,
fire,
though.
dude. Fire, dude.
It did. It slapped rackets. It slapped balls, man. That movie
It
was
was
fantastic.
promotion for the movie.
Yeah. It was
Subliminal
really good
promotion.
though. But yeah, they should have used that totally. But yeah, I'm just gonna quickly go through mine so we can get to shows. But
Oh yeah, sorry about it.
yeah, I you know, Bad Boys, I barely have any interest. I actually was surprised how good the one was before this movie, and yet I still don't really care about this. I feel like this shtick, to kind of, you know, use an overused term on this show, is a little bit run out for me. A little bit. It's like we get it. They've been too old to be these cops for a while, and like here we are again, you know. And I find it. I think it's an interesting premise. You know, the guy who's always had their back, the chief, is now captured, but. Don't really have much interest. Like, this is a streaming show for me. Hitman, I love Glenn Powell. he can do no wrong with me. I think he's like a new star that I just really dig, and he can play serious and dramatic as well as he can play funny and goofy. If you watch Anyone But You, he's fantastic in that. Drake can attest to it. And I think Adriana Rona is like only just blowing up as well. Everything she's in, she's fantastic. So I'm really down to see that movie. And then A Quiet Place Day One. I need to know what happened day one, because I've seen what happened, in a part one and a part two years later. But how did it start? So I think those are the things I'm most excited about. And then Inside Out too. If I can get to it, I will. But yeah, I think all this is movies are looking good this month. Will any of them make $1 billion? I think not.
No.
Yeah,
No.
but they'll do well.
Sorry, real quick, going back to Bad Boys. I think I'd be more excited for a new Rush Hour or
fuck yeah.
a new
Dude.
Lethal Weapon, even.
A new
Oh
Fifth
my
Element?
Just
Okay.
okay. Wow. Just say everything I dream
Let's
of.
name another buddy cop movie.
The one with the dog. Tom Hanks and the dog.
Oh, yeah, I'd see another one.
Starsky and Hutch.
No, oh yeah, that's good too.
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
So, actually, I would see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why have they not done it? Giant miss with no Rush Hour 3.
That was pretty-
Yeah, dude. Rush Hour. Wait, wasn't there a Rush Hour 3? Wasn't it?
Yeah, there was Rush Hour
1 and
3,
2,
but
right?
not.
Or would you
4.
do another Shanghai Noon with Owen Wilson and
I
Jackie Chan?
would. I'd watch that.
I think that movie would do good now if
Hell yeah.
if they came back and did it and like not made it as cheesy. I think they could do it a really solid way.
Yeah, I would like to see the rekindling of like kung fu / martial arts style movies just with choreography. I mean, they did it with John Wick, so why not with and Ip Man, so why not with more of that?
Yeah, sure.
Very true. All right, let's get on to some TV show releases because we have a bunch of things. I think I'm most excited for TV this month. It looks really freaking good. We have tomorrow, again, at the time of recording, we have the first 2 episodes of Star Wars The Acolyte at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is, I'm so excited about that. We're diving into the High Republic. We have Presumed Innocence with Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't know what that's about at all on the 12th. We have The Boys Season 4 on the 13th. Yep. We've got Bridgerton Part 2 on the 13th.
Oh.
We've got House of the Dragon Season 2 on the 16th.
Oh.
We've got Orphan Black Echoes on the 23rd. And then we have The Bear Season 3 on the 27th.
So much things, dude.
So much things. All right, what
So much
stands out to you
things.
guys?
No Bears.
The Bears.
Definitely. Recency bias.
Acolyte.
It's the last thing you heard.
Acolyte Bears.
The Boys.
The
and
Boys.
The
Yeah.
Boys.
I
There's
think
a lot of good stuff.
everything
House of
probably
Dragon.
except for Bridgerton. I'm not a huge Bridgerton fan.
My wife's pumped for that.
My wife's pumped for that.
Dude,
Your
women
wife's
love
probably-
Bridgerton, dude.
They love it.
Exactly.
They love drama, you know?
TNT,
Yes.
man.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
TNT.
I said
they know
TNT.
drama.
Yep.
Stupid. They sure do. And
Do you
basketball.
want to hear a funny joke that I heard the other day?
Please.
Do we have to cut it?
You might have to cut it.
Yeah, can we?
It's
can we play this
so
live?
yeah, no, it was YouTubers who watch like and react to I think TikToks or things and such.
Mhm.
But the joke was that I thought was funny, but don't necessarily relate with is
A lot of qualified
why do
statements.
women watch shows with subtitles?
I don't know why.
Because they don't know how to listen.
I'm not laughing because it's funny, okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Jeez.
I'm laughing
Hey,
because
Drake.
You're laughing because it's true, yeah.
I'm laughing because I would get slapped the hell out of my chair.
Oh my
if I had
goodness.
said that in public.
Yeah, don't say that in public, guys.
What was the
It was a
reaction to the video?
It was
His wife
they
slapped him in the
busted out
face.
laughing hilariously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Sorry to all the ladies who listen to our podcast, but that's probably not many.
Unacceptable.
unacceptable.
Move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
All
at the
right,
Joystick
so-
Show do not promote that type of thought process. So
You know who does it well, and we'll get into it after. Tires does a really good job. And we'll talk about tires at the end. Yeah, we'll talk about tires. But yeah,
hilarious.
excited about the Acolyte quickly. The High Republic, interested. The Boys season 4, especially post Gen V. I'm curious to see how this all ties together, and especially in a political year, I think this is going to be very contentious. This is gonna People are gonna love or hate this season in dramatic fashion, and I can't wait to see the carnage. We have Bridgerton. I'm happy for the ladies. They're getting part 2 back. House of the Dragon, I'm very curious to see how these two warring sides, the green and the blacks, face off. And the bear, I love the bear. So, man, I can't wait to see what happens, especially how it left in season 2. So much drama.
Oh my gosh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be
We
great.
love drama too, apparently.
We do, but in a different, it's a different way, right?
Yeah.
TNT.
TNT.
All right.
There we go.
Cool.
Moving
Well,
on.
moving on. All right. So I think that covers most of the news. Let's dive into some trailers because there was a lot of great stuff that dropped. Let's start off with another Disney Pixar movie, a heavy hitter. We got Moana 2 coming back. What do you guys think about this trailer? And let's go, Drake.
Being native Hawaiian and of Hawaii, as both of you are as well, I thought it was intriguing
not
to an
native Hawaiian.
extent.
Yeah, not native
From
Hawaiian.
Just
Hawaii,
throw that out there.
not
I don't
Hawaiian.
live here. I'm gonna get my ass
I don't like
kicked,
get
dude.
licked.
Yeah. Sorry. You know,
You
get
that white boy.
the blood and the howlies. So as local boys, think it's pretty cool. It's kind of more, trying to navigate the oceans and bring together all the Polynesians, which Moana is more of a Polynesian movie, not necessarily one Samoan or Fijian or Tongan or Hawaiian style movie, which is
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I never forget Tahiti and Rapa Nui, but I think it'll bring more of the same fun interactions. The Rock. Hopefully we get I guess a wider breadth of the Oceania as a whole. I mean, I have some concerns just story wise and what they're gonna do moving forward. Thomas and I talked about it offline
The
previously to
coconut
this,
guys.
but yeah, so
Concerning.
we're gonna see, bro. We're gonna see how it's gonna go. But Tom or Scott, what you think about Moana's 2?
Look like gonna make plenty money.
Oh yeah, every time Disney.
I don't know if about 1 billion, but gonna make plenty.
Yeah,
This is
plenty.
the
Yeah.
standard now.
Yeah. Oh, you
How
gonna even
much?
make 1 billion or what? Why you
One
gonna
bill,
fail?
huh?
Nah,
No
never
can.
made up 1 billion.
Never
bro.
made
Not
'em.
good.
So what then? So what then?
Yeah, it looks fun. For what little we saw, it looks fun. It's funny now. Like anytime I hear that chicken, I think of Alan Tudyk though,
Oh yeah, dude, Alan
and he's
Tudyk's
in the
so good.
trailer, and I just think of him like what it
Yeah.
looks like in the day of him coming in and just reading, or just doing the scenes and just
He's so good.
Was
acting
he
like a
doing the
chicken.
head bob while recording
I
it?
can guarantee you he's doing the head. I don't know
Okay,
for
okay.
sure. I might have imagined that and that turned that into a memory, but I could almost guarantee you he's
That's
doing the
amazing.
head as he goes or whatever.
Like, dude,
And he hits those high. I'm like,
legendary.
dude, some of these chicken noises are like
Yeah, dude,
he's
real
got
high.
range. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's real good,
crazy.
dude.
that's good. Confession time. I have never finished Moana 1.
God damn it. Okay, go watch Moana and
Wow.
Arcane. Okay.
You gotta
Yeah.
challenge me apparently on it.
I'm just joking. That's totally fine, dude.
I watched it, could not get into it. I know that's so bad to say, especially because the main girl is from our hometown, but
Yup.
never finished it. So
Hey, you know what?
That's unfortunate.
What it will.
It took me a while to watch it too. I think it was on,
What you mean?
and I watched up to a certain part. It was like those movies I saw it in parts. Sorry,
Yeah.
Jake, we're really letting it down here.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, oh
What
wait.
do you mean you guys know my brothers?
Yeah, I know. What is this?
So I watched it. I was watching with my little nephew, and I don't know if it had been so long or I hadn't seen it. There was definitely a big chunk of the movie. I was like, I remember this part. I'm like watching it.
Yeah, you're like, what?
Oh, that's pretty good. I'm like, whoa, what's gonna? No, oh, whoa. A lot of that. It's
Yeah.
good. It's a good movie.
You know what threw me off too is Maui being like a villain. Like I don't know
Oh, yeah.
why. I was like, wait, what? He's a
Because he's
villain?
At
supposed to be
first,
like there. I
First.
might be wrong. Don't kill me. But I think he's like their god of mischief or something, right?
Yeah, he's kind of Loki-ish. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think maybe that's
Ah.
why.
I did not expect that. I didn't like it. I didn't like how the coconut people. I'm like, why didn't they just make them menahunes? Which is like, for people who don't know, like a little Hawaii leprechaun. Why
Yeah.
didn't they do that? I was like, why?
That's
Maybe
a
they drew a
valid-
rough draft and was like,
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
That's valid. That's valid.
That's
I mean,
true. Okay, thank you. That's the first good
Could've
reason I've
been.
heard for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be like, man, they're like teasing little people from Hawaii or
Yeah, we
something.
just can't make this work. Like,
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's why,
yeah.
although look at Snow White's dwarves, they're back to being dwarves.
Yeah,
Yep.
but they made yeah, that was a while ago though.
Snow White's little people, huh?
No, the new live action one that's not out yet, right? Remember?
Oh wait, what? The one
We
that
posted.
tanked?
Didn't one come out with the girl who is in West Side Story?
Yeah,
And
well,
the new Hunger
Or I
Games?
mean, yeah, New Hunger. It hasn't come out yet, right? Or did it come
here's the
out?
thing though.
I
I thought
don't
it,
know.
No, it's not. Remember, because it
Yeah.
got like I thought it got canceled, but they're making it again or something. But
Right, and
the
they
thing of that
changed
is,
it.
you're casting real people.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes down to like drawing people, Lilo and Stitch already got pushback about like how Lilo's nose was drawn and stuff like that. You know, like it's because it's
Really?
like actively. I mean, there's always gonna be a voice, good and bad, for everything that
Yeah.
comes out. I mean, like
mm,
you know,
I bet there was nobody in Hawaii that complained about that. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, it's like, "Hey, that's me. You know,
Yeah.
Let's
but
All the
focus.
complaints came from
white
L.A.
people thinking
or
people were worried
California,
about it,
Southern California.
but or something.
Yeah.
I was, I can't assume it's white people, but a lot of times. But
Dang.
um,
It
but because
is.
they're drawing it, it's like,
Oops.
you know, it's like this person made the decision to make this person look like this in the drawing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Um,
But sometimes
so
it's, which is funny because I've met a few animators and they're Asian, so it's like, all right, okay, yeah, like don't, like the people who are drawing it are people who probably look like this too. So let's take a
oh
step
no,
back
yeah, for
before.
sure.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
you are, but I'm just throwing this out there in the universe. It's like, okay, hold on before you get too bad. But you're right. I think that is a valid reason why they may have changed it. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I, to your point, could see people complaining about that.
Also,
Yeah.
side thing, like the little coconut things are like they could be bad or good, whatever you throw them in the scene, right? Like, but they're always gonna be cute, and I think maybe they're going for that too. Like, we need a
Yeah.
minions aspect in here, you know, like
Yeah,
something
like
that's just
something
kind of
we could sell at Disney.
yeah. You see it a lot in like Studio Ghibli stuff too. Like, there's always some kind of little creature with them that's
They
just
can make a
fucking
stuffed
adorable.
animal and make
Yeah, you're like,
billions.
oh my god, can't stop looking at this little gerbil or something.
That's
You know?
true.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
Scott has done a
Totoro.
very good job of defending Moana this
yeah.
this
So
episode.
watch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scott, you
Yeah.
just got to get a big Moana tattoo and I want you to sing the main song from it. How does it go?
You're
In my-
welcome or
Da-da-da-da.
whatever.
There's
or
that one
I don't
too.
know.
Staring something ocean. I
Oh
don't know.
yeah.
I
Nah.
don't know.
Moving
Oh,
on.
yeah.
All I know is we had a
Sorry.
friend whose girlfriend tried to sing it, and it was in a car. We were in big Uber stuff, way too many people to Uber,
Oh,
and another
no.
one of our friends was just started singing over her because it was so bad. And basically, she got so mad. She's like, "Why are you doing this to me?" And we were like, "Yeah, just fucking never again." It was not good.
Oh, because she thought she's gonna sound good, didn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
that's
did
so
not.
sad.
It
Dude,
did
that's
not.
like, dude,
Dang,
that breaks
dude.
my heart, dude.
Yeah. That's a
God, you
bummer,
guys are getting
dog.
so soft at your age. All right, let's move on to the
Wow.
next one. We got Tomb Raider, the Legend of
Walk
Lara
around thinking they
Croft.
sound good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got what do you guys think about this one? It doesn't really tell us much about the story, I would say, but I'm really digging the animation.
Um, yeah, agree. Doesn't tell you too much story. Animation looks real good. Looks like it's gonna be kind of anime-esque in the line of like Arcane. It's gonna go deeper and kind of be a little bit more active in terms of Lara Croft. Because usually when we see Lara Croft, we see a lot of practical effects, we see a lot of like explosions, but I think it's gonna get a little bit more fantastical, and that'll be kind of interesting to see, especially having viewed um Angelina Jolie, and then The Rekindling with Alicia Vikander, and then the video games as well too, which are cult classics. I've watched Thomas play Tomb Raider a lot, so hopefully you can kind of give that same vibe without kind of stepping on the IP. But since you played the game a lot, Tom Bomb, do you think it's gonna raid your tomb?
I think my tomb will be rated.
Oh
I'm
wow.
stoked about it. I feel like this is a part of this whole endeavor to really try to get her back to a higher level. Like I know some people have really liked the new games and everything, but there's a
Mhm.
live action show coming out on Prime with the girl from Fleabag. I'm completely forgetting her name, but she is
Hmm.
basically the one that's going to be writing it and everything. She's really funny. She was also in that new what is it, Indiana Jones movie and whatnot. So yeah, I'm on board. I think that this IP will lend itself very well to animation. She'll be able to be more acrobatic. The action should be super cool. I'm stoked about it, man. I think it's gonna be good.
Sick, sounds
Yeah,
good.
You've had
Phoebe
it,
Waller-Bridge.
Phoebe
Oh
Waller-Bridge. Thank you.
yes, Phoebe
Yep, that's what it is.
Waller-Bridge.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it
let me
looks pretty
see.
cool.
Looks cool. Oh, it's gonna be on Netflix too. I thought it was gonna be on Prime. Interesting.
Oh, the
Yeah, Chris.
live action one.
Well,
Oh
the
wait.
live action one will be on Prime, but this
Oh, okay. This
animated
is.
show is going to be on Netflix.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. And then with a lot of video game success right now, I mean, it could be freaking awesome. So I'm on board with this.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's cool. And she's also, I found out, is going to be voiced by Haley Atwell, who is Peggy Carter in the MCU, and also plays
Oh,
Captain Carter
cool.
from What
I
If.
like that.
So yeah, she's
Nice.
great. So heck yeah, I'm super stoked. That's about all I know in the cast. So uh, that's that.
Sold.
We we'll talk more about it when we have more to say. But right now, it felt like it was just quite a teaser. Now the next
Lisa.
thing is, did we talk about Venom: The Last Dance already?
We did not.
No,
Wow,
we
it felt
talked.
like we did.
We mentioned him in comparing Wolverine. I think that's what I did.
That's what it is. Okay, yeah. All right. This was actually like a real trailer. It wasn't a teaser. We got
Hmm.
like a full trailer as to what this is gonna be. This
Yep.
is the third Venom movie in the franchise, and it sounds pretty dramatic. Like this is the end by calling it The Last Dance. Scott,
Yeah.
what did you think about this trailer?
2 words: Venom horse.
Okay,
That
yeah,
looked cool.
Giddy up.
it did look cool. Yeah,
um,
the Venom
it looks like
Steed.
a fun movie. I'm not like this hugest Venom like movie fan. I thought
Right.
they were okay. Like I thought they were pretty good. They're not
Hmm.
like super amazing, but they weren't bad. You know.
Mm-hmm.
True.
This looks fun. It's I think I like that they just threw that comedy portion in the middle of it to let you know, I guess, the tone of this movie. Like there's gonna be
Yeah.
cool stuff, but it's also gonna be like, fun for the family, even though it's rated R probably. People are still gonna bring their kids, so we make the money. Um them both saying we are Venom at the same time was like it's kind of funny, but at the same time I'm like, it's probably out of place when this movie when it's in the movie. So that's
Yeah.
fine.
It,
Um
I wanted to. I mean, I get what they were doing because they were like riffing off that the first movie where they're like, "We are
yeah.
Venom." They say it together. I was like, it's okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something about the humor doesn't always land for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the part where he was like, we are Venom, and then Venom's like trying to interrupt, and then Eddie's like, we are, and then Venom goes, Venom, and he keeps doing it until they do it in unison. It reminded me of us.
Of what
So
we do
Oh,
here.
okay.
of what we do here when we try to say thanks for sticking with
Thanks
us
for
all
staying
together.
with us. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
but
there's
little
there's
did you
some
know,
light,
it's
I
all
think,
edited
play.
together in post.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
I
doesn't matter.
to say the least, I think this is the best trailer I've seen for Venom as a whole. It uh plays in a lot of like things that we know about the Venom universe, like toxin, more symbiotes. Will it bring in Null? Will it bring in the
Mhm.
symbiote like lore as a whole? What is it going to look forward to in the future? What will Eddie Brock do? What will Venom do? Obviously, freaking Venom horse, so crazy.
Yeah.
I think the action is a lot more there. I'm not too sure about the story, but I think from an action standpoint and an interest standpoint, I've been most interested in this one versus the last two.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I think this is in the wheelhouse of like Sony Marvel. This Venom has always been at the top. It seems like
yeah.
this definitely looks better than Morbius, like thousand
Hmm.
percent, or like already I can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
surprised you didn't like the trailer for Let There Be Carnage, Drake. Like it.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, if we look back on it, I feel like we all thought that was gonna be good, but then I went to see it. I'm like, oof, it was
not a
not
so
good.
you know what? When I watch
not a
those movies, though, like it's fine. I can pick and choose when I want to think like this, but I try and I think like just forgot his name. Oh my gosh.
Woody
Batman Beyond.
Harrelson or Tom Hardy?
No.
Andy Serkis?
Kevin Smith, where he's
Oh.
like
Okay, sweet.
that mindset of going in and watching it. That mindset of like, dude, like we're getting Venom on the big screen.
Right.
Like, like sometimes I try to remind myself, like, even if it's not the ideal way you want to see them, like there's still enough scenes where you're gonna, even if you're like, I'll probably never see it again. There's still cool moments where you're like, I'm glad I got to see that scene. Like growing up, I would have flipped out seeing like some of this
Yeah.
action. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna go to watch it in the theaters, but if if some of my friends want to go or whatnot, I'm not gonna be like no, So
Right.
yeah, it
Not
looks
for
like a
me,
fun
bro.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah. It's true. You said it best. I think this has been at the upper echelon of Sony Marvel movies. Tom Hardy definitely seems like he's having a blast, and he goes all out, does some ridiculous shit in these movies, as we've seen. But yeah, the thing for me too is like Venom has never been my favorite Marvel character. And I think for people, you're right, for people who've loved Venom, like this has to be amazing. Like I'm on board because I love Venom. But it's like
right.
I'm not really like a big Venom fan. So I think that doesn't really help me want to go see it that much. I was really interested in Let There Be Carnage because we had Woody Harrelson. And
Right.
and like I'm like, oh, I love Woody Harrelson, like he can do no wrong in my eyes, and so I was like, okay, but then that wasn't really good, and I love Andy Serkis, and I really wanted his directorial debut to be on top or like on point, and I was like, oh, I'm so let down by it. Like I'm gonna see this, but I think the ball will be completely dropped, and it's actually gonna make me mad, I think, if we don't get a nod to Spider-Man, because we even see in this trailer, we see some of that goo that was from Venom that was left on the bar top in Mexico from Spider-Man No Way Home. We see it with the dude with Danny Rojas from behind
Danny
the bar.
Rojas.
Yeah, exactly.
Football's
Bought his
life.
life. Exactly.
Life.
Yeah.
We see him again and they catch the goo. But if you're telling me, okay, one, are you telling me that's in the MCU? Because where he dropped off that goo was in the MCU. It's so hard not to make this sound like a
Wow.
It's the Yugu.
Are you a poet?
Yeah. And if I'm speaking true, but no, like for real, like
Let me tell you about the MCU too, okay?
but like for
Wow.
real, okay. So, okay, it's so confusing. You need to tell me where Spider-Man is, what universe is this taking place. Like you have to explain that scene to me. Like this can't be some Sony mumbo jumbo where they just put in Michael Keaton at the end and it's like, I think we're all here because of Spider-Man. And then like there's been no trace of Spider-Man in any of these universes.
Yeah.
Like, like I need to know at this point. This is the third movie in the Venom franchise, but
probably
it's
the
like
last.
the sixth movie in this Sony Spider-Man universe. Maybe it is the last out of all of them. Maybe it is, and that's why they're calling it The Last Dance. Maybe this is where Sony is like, you know what? We don't know what the F we're doing. Let's sell the movie rights to Marvel Studios, which I'm super on board with. Like, or I'm more on board with that. Like, listen, I don't think that Sony knows what the hell to do with it. They couldn't make any of these other characters interesting. Madam Web, I was not even fully out on the trailer. Like, I was like, maybe I'll give it a chance. I know you'll never let me live that down, and I don't want you to, Scott. I want you to give me shit about that to the end of time.
Dude, that looks so bad.
But like, the bones were there in the movie. Okay, that cast of those ladies, wow. But God, like they really need to tell me something in the show. The one thing I will say about what this trailer has done well is I like that it's in the daylight. Like you can see a lot of it. They're not letting like it be dark and like letting the CG just kind of merge into like the darkness and stuff. Like they're going with like a lot of daylight scenes, which I think is really cool. Where you're getting to see a lot of Venom and everything. I think that's fantastic, but they have some splaining to do. They really do for me to be sold on this movie. But yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad. I hope it's good enough to where it allows Tom Hardy to be in the MCU and for him to continue as Eddie Brock, because I think he has been one of the best parts of the Sony Marvel universe.
I agree.
Yeah. So, man, yeah, I just have so little faith because I've defended so many of these movies. Like maybe it'll be good. Like now my level of faith in Craven is like 0.
Dude, yeah, I don't think it's gonna be good.
No.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I wonder if it'll even be. You know what? Okay, what else did they have? They had Craven.
Morbius.
Craven's no Morbius. Sorry, Morbius, Madam Web, Venom, and then the last one is gonna be Craven, right? Dude,
Yeah.
So yeah,
I,
two
I,
Venom movies.
I think Craven is gonna be like Morbius level. Like it won't be as bad as Madam Web, but I
No.
think it can get to Morbius.
I think so too.
And that's such a low bar to say. Like I think it could get there. It's just
And I feel bad, but I
bad.
don't think that
It
what's his
can.
name? What's his name is gonna be Craven.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
I don't think he's gonna do a good Craven.
You don't think so? He's such a good actor, though.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's a good actor, but I just my gut is saying it's not.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna be good.
You know what?
I
I'm
mean-
learning to trust your gut. You know, because
Yeah.
And I
usually your
hope
gut
it's
is
wrong.
on
I
track.
hope it's fucking good. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
but
gonna be like
I-
a Black Panther. Like, just it's not gonna be
No.
good, dude.
No, but
Just-
I've learned to not or to trust Scott's gut. I think your gut is more on the right track than mine is, so I'm gonna trust your gut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you what, it's not gonna make $1 billion.
Tell you what, trust my
not.
gut.
There you go.
It's
True
not a
blue
but.
goo MCU.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
raining tonight.
that's Venom: The Last Dance. Oh man, give me a Spider-Man nod, give me some Null, and you know what? I'll be okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some reviews, and I'm just gonna
Okay.
quickly run through some things, just because I wanna just quickly shout it out. We're not gonna go into full detail. The seasons aren't done. We're halfway through the season. I can't remember what happened at the start, but the first one, and we, I did a quick video about it on social media. Just we're doing this new thing where watch recommendation Mondays, where I'm gonna recommend one new show or movie every Monday. And 2 Mondays ago, we did Dark Matter and Big Door Prize, both new series on Apple TV. One returning for a second season in Big Door Prize, the other Dark Matter, which is phenomenal. It is really freaking good. It stars Joel Egerton and Jennifer Connelly. And it's really just about this guy who's like a professor, mild mannered, really smart dude, but his best friend seems to be getting all the accolades he wants. He lives a very simple life, and his wife tells him to go celebrate with his friend who he's very jealous about. And on the way home from the bar, he gets kidnapped and wakes up, and nobody remembers him, or yeah, he's basically like kidnapped in like a whole different like facility and stuff like that. And then slowly things get peeled back. It is super captivating. It starts off, like I said, very grounded and very much like drama. And then it gets more and more progressively has become more sci-fi. And it's done just so well. I would stack this up against like if the bar of great multiverse films are Across the Spider-Verse and Everything Everywhere All at Once, like at least up to this point, Dark Matter is right below it. It is doing some
Nice.
really cool shit with like multiversal premise and all that stuff. So yeah, that's Dark Matter.
Sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's on Apple TV. Highly recommend it. I think they're only on episode 5 right now, so it's not fully done. And I think there's 9 episodes this season. Comes out weekly, and yeah, it's just crushing. Like Jennifer Connelly's putting on a performance, like she's crushing. Joel Egerton definitely is playing these different versions of himself super super well, and yeah, the rest of the cast is really good. And they're putting like the budget in there. It doesn't look cheesy. Like everything looks really freaking good. So, yeah, highly recommend that. And then the other one is Big Door Prize. I didn't look up any of the cast. It's this one guy that everybody knows. He has like one of those faces. Like he's been in a ton of movies. I think his biggest role was in like in Bridesmaids. He was in that. Who else is in it? I'll look it up.
Is it
now.
Josh Segara?
That's the dude from She-Hulk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that him you're talking about?
The funny dude, right?
Different dude. Yeah, like there's
Okay.
like the
different
main
dude.
guy.
Oh, Chris
Which-
O'Dowd.
Yeah, Chris O'Dowd.
Oh,
That's
that
who it
guy,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's in
He's-
was it Moon Boy? He's in Bridesmaid. Oh, sorry, you might have said
Yeah.
Bridesmaid.
Yeah. I know him from Bridesmaids. I don't know what Moon
Yeah.
Boy is. But yeah, he's good in it. It's just a lot of fun. It's very lighthearted. It's a really crazy premise. A machine pops up in this little town that gives everybody their life's purpose, and then it's slowly how it starts affecting everybody in town. And at the end of season 2, like it's called the Metamorpho Machine, and it basically changes. In season 2, it kind of shows everybody this like 8-bit video game of like a vision, and people have to like start figure out what this vision means for themselves. And it's really, yeah, it's cool. It's like I said, very lighthearted. It's not the funniest show, but there's enough heart there to where you're like, oh, it keeps making me want to come back because I want to know what happens with the characters, you know. And
Okay.
it, you know, it's not.
Ted-esque feelings.
Would you say like Ed-esque?
Ted-esque.
Ted, yeah, yes, very much so, but less heart, more comedy, I would even say, than it was towards the end of the seasons. But but sometimes the comedy doesn't always land. But that guy Josh Segarra, you're saying he's an ex-hockey player that owns like the fanciest restaurant in town, called Papa Giorgio's. And he's got like guys who are like rowing like the Italian canoes down, you know, the pavilion, whatever. It's just funny. There's just enough there that makes me chuckle, and
Nice.
it's great. You know, this season they took like some, but it's weird too. It kind of goes some weird places, but I like that about it. So yeah, Big Door Prize, Dark Matter on Apple TV. I think they're crushing it for sci-fi.
That's pretty cool. Two
Okay.
different types of sci-fi.
Yeah.
Totally. And like, you know, if you've watched For All Mankind or Silos or The Foundation, like Apple TV is like silently the top sci-fi place, I think, right now. I think
Oh
they do
my
it the best.
Sick, dude.
Yeah, it's so good. So yeah, I would check it out. There's a lot in store for you there. And then the last recommendation, which we dropped today, is called Hacks. I love this show. I dare say with season 3 now, I love this show more than Ted Lasso. I think this
Oh wow.
for me, I'm not gonna say it's
High
a better
praise.
show. I like this show better.
Do you
It
like it more
has-
than Marvelous Miss Maisel?
Hard to say because Marvelous Miss Maisel had such a phenomenal ending. It
Okay.
really had such a good ending that up until this point, like if I had to compare apples to apples in terms of like how many episodes, I would say this is better for our last season than where Marvelous Miss Maisel was. I'm not saying that this is the last season, but it's just giving me so much I want. And it's things that we all talk about offline a lot, which is like, is comedy getting too woke, or can't, you know, like comedians say all the time, like you can't joke about that anymore. It's like, can you joke about those things? Can you make things that seem to be off topic still funny? You know, there's older comedians like, you know, with the whole Unfrosted junket for Jerry Seinfeld, he was saying a lot of crazy shit that people were like, people who don't know Seinfeld and don't know him from back in the day, and there's still obviously a massive part of the country that thinks he's like the upper echelon of comedy. But for new kids, they have no idea who he is, and they thought it was just some old angry guy ranting, and they're like, what does this guy know about comedy? And so there's those two school of thoughts. And what this show does is like branch those two ideas. So you take somebody who was a legendary comedian in like the 80s and 90s, and like her viewership is declining, another person who is like the up and coming comedy writer, and puts them together in this unlikely way and says, now go make something together. And I love how it has to branch those two things. And because of who they are, they can't help but be who they are. They're also forced to work together, but then they form an unlikely friendship. I love it. I recommended it to our friend like Jacob Justin, and I was like, dude, you guys got to watch it. You got to watch it. Like, if you like Ted Lasso, if you like Sex Lives of College Girls, if you like Shrinking, like, you should watch this show. And he texted me like a couple days later. He's like, we're 9 episodes in. And then texted me a couple days after that. He's like, okay, I just finished season 2. I'm like, what? Blasted through all of this. Joe Rogan has talked about it on his show. Like, it is amazing. And I think for us who appreciate comedy, but also like comedians and the process of creating comedy, like this is a must watch.
Okay.
So
I'm sold again.
I think, yeah, I will say though, I think season 3 is way better than season 2 already. Season 2, they changed things up quite a bit. And then season 3 is more back to form of what season 1 was. And man, it gets you in the feels in the same episode. It can make you like piss your pants, want to laugh.
Wow.
I love that.
Yeah. So God, I can't speak highly enough of Hacks. Yeah, it's already like, if I had to put like my top shows of the list together, obviously it's X-Men '97 at the top, but it's probably gonna be Hacks next,
Duh.
and then it might be Shogun.
Oh wow.
Or Shogun. Oh, it's too soon to say. Too soon to tell. I think
Right.
Hacks and Shogun are fighting for second right now.
This is gonna be a shifting list throughout because the Bear's gonna come out.
It's
Yep.
true.
Like all these other, it's gonna
Yeah,
be a moving list.
it
All good
is.
stuff.
You're right. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. And I don't know, any thoughts, questions on that before we move on to the last review of the night?
Do it up, dude.
No, I'm excited to watch Hacks again. I didn't watch season 2. It got by me. I remember you saying like, yeah, it's back, and then then I was like, oh, it's done. Now I got time to watch it now. But now season 3, you're hyping it up, dude. I'm watching it.
Season 3 is good. It's real good. Yeah. Take it away on tires.
Watch this show. It's funny. It's I have to say it's like if you're unfamiliar with like Shane Gillis, it's kind of bro-y humor, like immature bro-ish humor. But still hilariously written. It's like for a silly show too, there's like a lot of heart to it by the end of it.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was really well written, tight 6 episodes, 30 minutes an ep. It's
think-
about
Yeah, can I just say though that I feel like there is an attempt to address modern issues, but in a way Shane
Yeah.
Gillis does.
Yeah. It's funny. Me and my coworker fans of Shane Gillis, and like every once in a while we'll just like do Shane Gillis. We're like, ew, dude. Like, like there's just certain things he says or does, or just like, what's up, bro?
What's
Like,
up,
it's just
bro?
like
Yeah,
physical,
240.
just like really
Yeah.
stupid. Like, it's the funnest thing to do. But or if we say something that we thought was funny and no one laughed, we just go, I thought that was pretty funny, and then like we'd make each other laugh because
Right.
Shane Gillis. But yeah, you're right. There are things that they touch on in this that, like earlier, you're saying what Hacks is like. Oh, can we do this? Is there room for this sort of joking? But it's written
Right.
in a way where it's like it's hard to talk about without you sounding.
No, just I
Um,
think you get it because like if you know Shane Gillis and if you don't, like go watch his SNL thing. You
Yeah.
know, like even the monologue.
Yeah.
I think you'll get
Yeah, I'm
Shane
trying to
Gillis
pick moments
pretty
where
quick.
it's like, it's just trying to describe a scene like
Because what was the
out of
first
pocket
episode?
would sound like crazy.
It was like the women's
Oh
like
yeah.
the
Women's initiative. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
and
like
then,
we're gonna try to make women feel more safe. Like
yeah,
we gotta touch on
Will-
women. He's like, yeah, we're
exactly.
gonna touch on some women, all right. Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah. It's very, and he's like, no, like Shane, I'm trying to do something good here. And he's like, what, by putting on posters? Like,
yeah, which
dumb. Like, and
Right,
you're
right.
like, yeah, it's right. Like, it's funny. Like, the main character is full of good ideas, um, and it always just kind of falls through. And Shane is like his best friend, who's a mechanic, and is just always figuring out the ways to like mess with him. Um,
Yeah.
because it's to him, it's like everything's kind of low stakes. But towards the end, he realizes he can actually kind of help, and it like grows into something that's like really good. But yeah, they're just funny. They're definitely really funny ones. Like there's the car wash one I thought was hilarious where
was
they're like,
great.
we gotta, the ladies come in. There's like this lady that's gonna do like an audit on the auto shop, and they had this wacky idea of like trying to increase sales by like doing a car wash. So they hired like these like I guess like the most beautiful ladies they could find in the area to be in bikinis and wash cars. And then they're like, we gotta hide these
Well,
ladies.
Yeah, it's the
because
it was the one girl that works there. It was like her friends that used to work at the restaurant.
yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. They're like, this is what we could get. And which they were funny too. And when that auditor's coming in, like they're like, okay, we gotta hide these ladies. And Shane's like, oh, ladies, can you get in this container? Like there's like this container out back.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you want us to get into a container? And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't see the big deal. Like, we just gotta hide you. And she's like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
sound so crazy right now. And then that dude comes by and he's like, what's going on? He's like, I'm trying to get these ladies in a container. Like, it's just like scenarios like that are just like,
Yeah.
it's the way it's written and formed is it's hilarious.
Totally. One of my favorite parts was when he was trying to get them out of the garage. He was like, "All right, hey, okay, you got to get out of here, you dumpster mermaids. We got to go in the back." I was like, "It's like, it's very Shea Gillis humor. It has some bro humor, but like, in an attempt of like an ever-changing world, like how would somebody like this view?" Equal opportunity or like, women's safety and that kind of stuff, in like
Yeah.
a corporate setting. And it's very much Shane Gillis and a lot of these people who maybe are in a small town or have blue collar jobs. It's like, how do you approach, this shit that seems to be like corporate mumbo jumbo? And
For
man,
sure.
he does a
Yeah.
great job.
And the cast is great. Like his friend, I saw the pilot before watching this, and it's they got all pretty much all the same main people.
Yeah.
So his friend was the other dude that was in it. I think in the pilot it was like, yeah, this is where the bro humor is. It's like an a lady comes in who he fancies, and Shane's like, dude, what, you're gonna talk to her and like you're all horned up? You gotta go in the back and like you gotta bust one out. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, you gotta do it, dude. Otherwise you're not. And then the guy's like, yeah, dude. He's like, all right. And then he's in the stall and he's like doing his thing. And then Shane leans over, he's like, dude, you're like jerking off at work, dude. And you're just like, what? Shane, get out of here! Like, just a bunch of that. But the cast they got like Stavros Halkias, they got Andrew
Yeah.
Schultz, Tommy
Yep.
Pope,
Dude, Andrew
O'Connor,
Schultz and his what do they call him? Like the Wops?
the WAP twins or something like that.
Yeah.
They're
Dude,
fucking
him and the other
commercial.
guy?
Yeah,
Holy
with
shit.
Tommy Pope. Dude, they're so
Oh, is he a
funny.
comedian?
Yeah. So Tommy Pope and Chris O'Connor, they come on the Are You Garbage podcast a lot. They have their own
Oh,
podcast
okay.
called Stuff Island Boys or something like that. But they're funny
Okay.
dudes together too. Like, and they have like a cooking podcast too, where like the Italian guy like cooks and they like interview people. But yeah, him and Andrew Schultz together were just hilarious. Like, I
Yeah, they
love when they're
were.
like, you hear our new what is it, our new ad? And it's just like, oh,
Hey,
the
oh.
sales, oh, and he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I fucking hate it. And he's like, yeah, but do you remember it? I
Yeah,
can't stop thinking about it. Yeah, it works.
that's right. It worked.
Yeah. And then I
know.
love to at the end where they buy that cake,
The cake.
and then he's
Yeah.
like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna get a piece of this ass. Like, it's like a ass right in the cake.
Just a
And then
chocolate
the
cake.
dad's just like, get the
Yeah.
fuck out of my office. His fingers just covered in chocolate. Like, it's, oh man, it's so funny.
It
Um,
is. And
yeah,
I'm
it's
not
so
even
good.
a big Shane Gillis fan, but I really thought he was funny in this, and I really liked it. Like, he just, yeah, it just works. And like, you're right. I think the whole cast works. The situations are ridiculous because, yeah, you're right. Like the main guy, which is he? That's not Chris O'Connor. Is
No,
it?
that's not Chris O'Connor's the other guy who's the mechanic with Shane. No, the main guy Will is Steve Gerbin.
He's
I
like
think
the
his name.
perfect goober. Like he's
He is.
like, I'm kind of a dork, but I'm trying to like do the best I can at work. And Shane's like the cool guy. It's a solid cast.
But what's funny is like it's not like he's just getting picked on the whole time, because it seems like that in certain scenarios. But when the stakes aren't high, he's laughing. Like, he wants to joke with Shane, and I like that they showed that. He's like,
Yeah.
dude, come on, dude, like, fucking get out. He's like, yeah, you like it, and they're laughing
Yeah.
together. But when he's like, Shane, I need you to be serious, he's like, all right. Like, remember he went and he talked to, he's like, I got the sale, and he's like, how? And he's like, oh, I told them you smelled like pussy, and then
Yeah.
I spoke to them normally. It's like, why would you tell them that? Like, it's
Yeah,
just
he's like,
fucking
got the
bananas.
sale. What does it matter? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's so funny. And shoot, there's something else. Oh, what's cool is the guy who's at the rival shop,
Yeah.
who Shane's talking to. He's like, dude, we're gonna beat you. We're taking, and then the other guy's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat you. We're taking our guys to Red Lobster. And he's like, Red Lobster? Oh yeah, I want to take my guys to Red Lobster. And then they were bonding over Red Lobster. That
Mhm.
dude he was talking to is McKeeves or whatever. I forget his, fuck, let me pull up his actual name. But he's a dude that write the Gillian Keeves, the sketches.
Sick.
Oh,
So he's
the
that
sketch
dude. So
writer.
he actually he's one of the main writers for this show.
Oh wow, dude, they
Yeah.
got a powerhouse team, man. Because those sketches, like, it's undeniable. The one where the plane's going down, and he's like, just say whatever you want. You're never gonna see them again. And then they end up all surviving on that sketch. Or he's like, I'm Carl Isis from ISIS Car and Shop. Like, we're not those ISIS, like, stop
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
we're like that
Yeah.
sketch was funny
Hilarious.
Yeah, that's so
like,
super funny.
yeah, Shane and that guy, they have a solid dynamic, man.
His
and
name's John McKeever.
McKeever.
So
Okay.
yeah, it looks like the creators of this show is Steve Gerbin, the main guy Will, Shane Gillis and John McKeever. And then what's cool too is they even had Matt McCuster, who's the guy that Shane does his podcast with, the Matt and Shane Secret podcast. and Matt McCusker pulled up. He was the cop on the bike. Where they're like, "Oh, what's up, dude?" And he's like, "Yeah, anyway, you're gonna have to like put that beer away, and you gotta like clean this shit up because that's blah blah blah." But I thought it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just cool. Like, I heard someone say it. Can't take credit for it, but they're like saying like they're like, I wonder if he's just gonna like move into like the modern day Adam Sandler.
Adam's
Like he just hires
yeah.
his friends and like they
Mhm.
just do fun shit together, you know?
Yeah.
Because it
I
must have been a
mean,
blast filming this.
it looked like a
100%.
ton of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looked like a ton of fun, and the situations are so ridiculous. And, it kind of gives me the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia a little bit,
Yeah.
where they're like all kind of shitty, but, and you're like, man, they're doing all this stuff so something can work out. And
Yeah.
then you're like, wow, it might work out, but then it doesn't. And you're like,
Yeah.
what?
It kind of felt like Always Sunny meets like The Office or something,
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
right?
that's a
Like
good description. Yes.
I think yeah, it feels like that. And then I like that. Like, and then I was watching some videos and there's like little behind the scenes stuff. And Stavros, the guy who works for the dad, he
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, they wanted me to eat in every scene," and I'm like, "That's hilarious," because I think back every scene he's like eating something,
Yeah.
like he's at a vending machine. And I'm like, "That's so funny." Just these little things are like, you got to do your thing, but do this as well. Um,
Yeah.
I
He was a
kind of,
good actor too. I didn't realize he
yeah, he's
has
good.
that range as an
Yep.
actor.
He's
Yeah,
got the
Damn.
I didn't know that
chops.
either. So like, it is cool to whoever funded it, they maybe just funded it themselves or whatnot, or pitched. I mean, I'm sure Netflix paid for it quite a bit, but like the pilot or whatnot, right? Probably
Hmm.
cost a pretty penny, but it's cool to see them all like betting on each other and then like doing something cool with it. And they're all
Yeah.
successful comedians, which is cool too.
Yeah, that's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
it's a good time if you're a fan of comedy, and comedians. I think you definitely like it. If you're just a fan of comedy shows in general, I think you could still enjoy this show. It's like really low stakes. There's some heart to it. It's
Mhm.
short. It's like maybe 30-minute an episode, and there's 6 episodes. So you're like watching. It's shorter than a Lord of the Rings extended edition movie. You know
Right,
what I
the
mean?
whole
So
season.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
it's a good time.
I had a ton of fun with it when you put it on my radar because I saw some people making some videos, which yeah, that would have been a good one for you to do on TikTok.
There's still time.
Still time, dude.
but but seriously, like it was. I saw some people talking about it, and I was like, oh, and I forgot about it. And then you mentioned tires, and I was like, oh crap, a lot of people. And it seems like it's hitting. It's like scratching that itch for people. Again, I think. I think hacks is probably like more general population like acceptable in a way, but
Mhm.
I don't see like why like they kind of know their assholes in tires, much like they kind of know their assholes in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And like you're
Mm.
not laughing
Correct.
with them, you're kind of laughing at them, and it's kind of that situation. So it's like if you don't take it so personal, if you're like I know somebody like that who works at literally like
That's
the
exactly
mechanic
it.
shop or at the gas station or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Like you kind of know somebody like that in your life that doesn't care about PC, doesn't care about like making people feel included or whatever, and you just take it as like them teasing that person. It's freaking hilarious. Like it's such a funny show.
Yeah, because there are like some of these characters are definitely caricatures almost, but it's
Yeah.
like you can also see like you're like there's guarantee someone like this out there that like it's just like this guy,
Yeah, yeah.
you know? So it's funny.
Absolutely. So yeah,
Definitely
man, that
recommend it.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's Tires on Netflix just dropped and I think it's doing pretty well. So it sounds like they're trying to get back into season 2 as soon as possible. That's pretty
Nice. I'm
awesome.
excited for that.
Do
Yeah,
it.
me too.
Do
All
it.
right, guys. Well, that kind of wraps it up for this week. Yeah, again, hopefully you enjoyed yourselves. Hopefully you are sold on some Venom. Maybe you're not sold. Maybe you're not sold on anything except for what we talked about in reviews.
Yeah.
But I had a ton of fun. What about you guys? What do you think about this one?
This is a
I'm
blast.
asking
I
that.
think there's
Yeah,
we
tell
had
me
some
it
good
sucked.
times.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, we had some good times, some good laughs. I feel like we all grew,
Yeah.
you know.
Wasn't the worst.
Wasn't the worst. Is right.
Okay.
Back to you, Drake.
Yeah, Drake, say more.
Well, you know what I can say? Thanks for shaking it with
Thanks for
us.
sticking with us.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
The Joystick Show. The Joystick Show.